Hello and welcome to Little Birdie's Sports Show of a Monday First Look. I'm your host, Nikki Sylvester. Joining me today is MG for the AFL Round 12 review, and we've got Toprope for the NRL Round 13 review. First Look is proudly brought to you by Little Birdie TV, topsport.com.au, Punting Form and Manscaped for the very best in men's grooming. I've got MG in the studio with me this morning. How are you? It's been a long time between drinks. Haven't seen you much this weekend.
Oh, it hasn't been. Good, Nikki. It's been another big week, and I want to tell, including Toprope, who'll be in any second, that Melbourne is clearly the sporting capital, probably not of Australia, anywhere else in the world. We can compete with the best, can't we?
Oh, well, Melbourne was on fire over the weekend, on fire. What do we have? We had Devon Haney, Cam Bosses, Dame Lillard flew in. He just thought, I'll just do an impromptu.
Yes, Little Birdie was all over it. I think we've got some photos, haven't we, of your weekend? It
was quiet.
You're going to show with.
There we go.
I'll let you explain it. But Nikki hosted the restaurant Cicconi's that she runs there in Flinders Lane. Toprope, you'll love this. That she's been entertaining the new undisputed world champ in the lightweight division.
It was amazing. So on Friday night we had all his entourage in, courtesy of Host Me VIP. They organised that for us. Do some work with them. And then on Saturday afternoon, they rang back and they said, we really enjoyed it. We want to bring the champ in. And I was like, well, and they said, we need a private room. I was just like, well, we've got to make this happen. We've got to make it happen. And we made it happen. And he was amazing. He was really nice. He was really polite. They were wonderful. And then he won. So, a little bit of risotto, some steaks and some caprese salad. And you're the undisputed champion of the world.
No invite, Toprope?
No, I missed the invite there, MG, and I will be honest, Nick. I'm not 100% sure that Melbourne is the sporting capital of the world, despite the claims are the same. But there is absolutely no question who the sporting queen of the world is, Nikki Sylvester. As we know, I know your husband Jason well. I think he's putting out a missing persons report after the weekend. You've been to that many things, looking for you. It's it looked like a hell of a weekend. But I must say,
to take you to the boxing there.
Oh, then we're at the MCG in a box.
Aussie rules doesn't stop. But I am disappointed. We had a great opportunity. This is a punting show. We can talk about going to sport all we like. This is the chance you had to nobble Haney and give us an absolute morale on the other bloke would have been something else. So, I don't know why we couldn't have just slipped a little bit of Valium in. We couldn't have done something in there. Would have been absolutely delicious for the punters.
I mean, I had a few people texting me, are we poisoning him or what? And I was like, oh, God, I couldn't do it. But I did tell you that what he did say to me on Saturday was that I said, have you enjoyed your time down under? And he said, yep, it was great. And he said, well, we're coming back because we've scheduled for 2 fights. So I just said, I told that to MG and I said, well, you read that into what you will. But the only one with their rematch clause was Cam Bosses. I'm not saying the fight was fixed, but...
Oh, let's not get into too much trouble.
It's good. Not a boxing fight. There wouldn't be something untoward about boxing, would there?
Well, it's good information, Toprope. I don't know why you're complaining. You didn't make it down to the fight, but you certainly made out well with the information that he was well fed on the Saturday night and he was ready to go. And
I did. There's no better feed in Melbourne than Cicconi's.
And from a betting point of view, just quietly, he was smashed off the map, 165 in. I think he started less than about 155 at least. So. Yes, the Toprope news, I think, travelled well for the boxing, and it was a very easy watch. The beers were going down well, but he was never in doubt. He had the fight controlled from the outset. Yep. His left jab was unbelievable, and Cambosis, every time he went to throw a punch, Nikki, no one there.
Yeah, I think Haney just really matched him and knew where his shots were coming from. He had the speed, and even though Cambosis threw a lot, not a lot of them landed, I don't think. And by the end of it, yeah, Haney's fitness and probably just that youth, that the advantage that he's got on Cambosis. Yeah,
like a few in this office, Toprope, swinging for air. Cambosis, he was swinging for air.
You got to move to Melbourne, Toprope.
Yeah, just a quiet crowd, Toprope too. Your combined NRL this week wouldn't have reached the 40,000 that we got at the boxing. So,
considering the standard of some of the games, I actually can't put an argument up for you there. MJ.
No. Looking forward to the rematch, and we'll get an invite, hopefully, Toprope, for the next visit when Haney comes down and he wets a pallet at Nikki's restaurant there, I think.
Just loosening the shoulders. I could take or leave the invite to the fight, but I definitely want the invite to Cicconi's. That's what I'm keen on.
Anytime. All right, let's get to it. So there was plenty of sport. And this morning, Toprope, I know you won't be that happy with this one, but Minwoo Lee's sister, she won the US Open. Minji. That's amazing.
Absolute superstar. Just the third Aussie woman to win the US Women's Open. Absolutely dominated. Yeah, look, I was on Mina Harrigan at 200-1, but she was well beaten. So no disputing the winner. She was absolutely outstanding. She was in a class of her own, Minji, and massive breakthrough win there. Claiming the richest ever purse in women's golf. The US Women's Open doubled in prize money this year, up to $10 million. So huge payday for it's on par with the men's US Open now. So it was a huge win for her and a massive payday, and good for her. It was a great day for Australian golf.
I listened to Friday's podcast with OB, and I heard you boys talking about Iga Swiatek, and she won, didn't she?
Yeah, she won the French Open. Number one player in the world, won her 35th consecutive match. Yeah, well. So she was a very prohibitive favourite going in, and it's her second French Open. She won in 2020 as well. So she has the most dominant win streak now of the 2000s era, going past both the Williams sisters. So, 35 consecutive wins. So, unbelievable performance, but none better than
Nadal.
My favourite man, Toprope. The Rafa Nadal show, seriously, on clay. I've known Toprope for a couple of years now on these podcasts. I just don't understand the opposition, especially in the betting space.
Yep.
I'm still getting over last week, Toprope. I just can't for the life of me figure out that you could get 2-1 Rafa Nadal against Djokovic in the quarterfinal.
But that's just got to be based on age, doesn't it? Like age and injury, because it can't be on performance because he's unbeaten and he's just so good on clay. How do you?
They got it wrong, and he went on and absolutely destroyed the semi-final and final. This guy is untouchable on clay. He's won his 14th Grand Slam. I think the next best Toprope is Djokovic has won 9 Australian Opens, so that's how dominant he is. He's now 2 clear on 22 Grand Slams.
Amazing.
Astonishing. It's absolutely astonishing. It's like one of the great, I know the French Open probably doesn't hold the kind of kudos out here that it does, but it's obviously one of the 4 Grand Slams, and for one player to win it 14 times. Absolutely one of the most remarkable feats in sporting history, surely. And I'm not a tennis guy. I don't follow tennis at all, but how he started any longer than $1.50 going into the tournament seems ridiculous.
Well, as I said, just that one match was unbelievable against Djokovic. And news come out in his press conference afterwards that he had injections in his foot to numb the nerve for him to even play Toprope. So he says he's more unlikely than likely for Wimbledon now, just because he doesn't want to go through the pain of the injection. So that just puts another aspect onto the win of how devastating it was. And he crushed last night. Like the poor guy Rudd in the final. He never stood a chance, unfortunately. So wish a few of the Australian tennis players, Toprope, would have a bit more of the heart of Rafa Nadal, I think, when they play the game.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm not a big tennis follower, but heart doesn't seem like it's in huge abundance in Australian men's tennis in particular.
And what do we got downstairs? The boys are watching it at the moment, aren't they? They're game 2 for the NBA.
Yeah, so Boston's, I'm not going to say they stole it in game 1, but the Warriors had it under control game 1, and then Boston, unbelievable last quarter. So they get the away win, they're 1-0 up, and the series continues. So make sure you check the boys out on the podcast there. Yeah,
I think they said, what have they tipped? They said if Golden State don't win today, that's it. They said that it'll just be Boston from now, you think?
Well, they lose both at home. I mean, teams have come back from 2-0 down. It obviously makes it hard, but Golden State Warriors are a professional side and stuff. So, we'll see what happens going forward.
Ooh, we want it to be a contested one. All right. And what did we? Yesterday we had some AFL. We checked it out. That wasn't a bad game, given that not my team. But I didn't mind that, actually. I'm going to say that wasn't too bad, to watch a team that you don't like, or 2 teams you don't particularly rate and like. That was all right. I thought it was good footy.
Lucky she was sitting in a box again, Toprope. She's lucky. We were at the boxing, not even going to the footy, and someone rings up and says someone's pulled out of the suite at the MCG. If you guys want to go and partake, there's alcohol and food there for you. So, which was lucky because it absolutely pissed down.
Oh, I poured.
So you guys went suite to suite, did you? I mean, sweeted Eddie out for the boxing, all up sweeted MCG for the AFL. Is that right?
They don't call us the LB3 Dream Team for nothing, okay? All right?
Jeez, that's so exciting. We'll have merchandise out shortly, I think, Toprope for that, the amount of events Nikki goes to. But, it was an average game, Nikki, in terms of obviously the weather had a part, but at least it was close and it was exciting. We had a few Hawthorn people with us as well as Collingwood. So
we had one crazy Collingwood and then
made for good theatre on the day. But we'll get into the round 12 games.
Yeah, we'll have a look. We'll put those graphs up and we'll read through the results. Okay, so Geelong beat Western Bulldogs 83-70. Adelaide beat the West Coast 88-57. Gold Coast beat the Kangaroos 109-47. Sydney beat Melbourne in the upset of the round. Here we go, 73-61. Collingwood beat the Hawthorn 72-68, and Fremantle took care of Brisbane 99-85, denying Brisbane the rights to go to the top of the ladder.
Yeah, so we went into the week with 3 strong games that we were really looking forward to watching, and then there was 3 ordinary ones. So the 3, I guess, lesser-like games, they all won with the favourites, even though Collingwood just fell in with the 72. But of the big games, there was a big betting drift. The Bulldogs were smashed off the map, really. Swapped the favourites there, and Geelong held firm and got a big win against the Bulldogs. Sydney in the upset of Melbourne, so now Melbourne have lost 2 in a row. So it's kind of opened up the season, which we'll go through shortly with the Premiership betting. But that was unbelievable win to come down in the MCG and beat Melbourne. Very good win. And also Freo, again, unfortunately, I tipped Brisbane massive in the game. That was my only tip for the week, actually, and got the betting part right. They actually went from +6 outsiders to 5 or 6 point favourites in the end. I think they definitely started 5 point favourites.
Just needed a few more goals, didn't you?
Yeah, they started well, Brisbane, and then Freo put the sword to them. So unbelievable win. They've now beaten Melbourne and Brisbane, the top 2 sides in the last 2 weeks. So,
and what do they get? They get 5 back too.
Yeah, 5 to come back. So with a pretty comfortable draw, Fremantle would definitely be looking for a top 4 spot. So it's a good week of footy, really.
Okay, awesome. We might have a quick look at the week 12 results. So the 3 out of 6 faves won. 1 out of 6 covers, 1 out of 6 over totals, and 3 out of 6 home teams. And for the season, we're sitting at 69% on the faves, 52% on the covers, 54% on over totals, and 58% of the home teams. Wow. That was low for the covers and the overs, wasn't it? Yeah,
not much scoring. Weather played a part in, obviously, the Collingwood-Hawthorn game. There was a few games shut down afterwards, but not much scoring. But there was some good football played. So with obviously the bye week, so we've only got 6 to choose from, but we had a couple of good games.
Yeah, and if we just have a look at the AFL Stings result, as you said, you really just went hard on the Brisbane, and sadly that did not get over the line for you. And it is hard in the bye round, especially with some pretty average games. But
yeah, hard to find a bet. Only come up with one. Actually bet it the week before. I just thought Brisbane should have started favourites in the game. They did start in favourite, but as I said, they got off to a good start and just couldn't overcome Freo away. So disappointing. 0 for 1 for the week.
All right, so we might just have a quick look towards Thursday night's game. So we've got Richmond taking on Port Adelaide at the MCG, 7:20. Early betting suggests Richmond head-to-head $1.35. Port Adelaide looks to be $3.25, and approximate line is about 18.5. MG, what are your early thoughts here?
Yeah, not a bad game. 2 teams that were expected to probably make the finals. They're just sitting outside at 10th and 12th at the moment, both coming off the bye. So, I kind of think, this would be a good game. Like, they're both in form. They had very slow starts to the season. So, Richmond have won 4 out of the last 5 and Port have won 5 out of the last 6. So, looking forward to this contest. Remember, it is on a Thursday night at the MCG with the long weekend as well. So, even though I've only got 6 matches, Nikki, they're really spread out this week. So, just making sure I don't ever have a day off in this football season, unfortunately. Of course not. But just from a betting point of view, it's early markets. We'll get it more established as the week goes on. But I think even though I'm, being declared on this show by Scooty that I'm a fanboy of the Richmond football side, I actually think Port would be the early tip in this game at the plus 18.5. I just think I don't think there's that much between them. I know Port have got to travel to the MCG. But 18.5 looks a tad big for me at this stage.
Okay, there we go. The early value plus 18.5 for Port Adelaide. Now we're going to have a quick look at the Premiership market that has been thrown a little bit open after the last couple of weeks. We've got Melbourne at $2.80, Brisbane at $6, Freo at $7, Geelong $9.50, Swans $11, Carlton $15, Richmond $15, St Kilda $16, and the Western Bulldogs at $26. MG.
Yeah, see Melbourne just drift, lost 2 in a row, so they got in as short as $2.40, back out to $2.80. The 2 big movers this week, obviously Freo into $7 and Sydney into $11. So, it just opens up a little bit, and there's, besides Melbourne, there's now some competitive betting behind it. So, the bookies will be enjoying the last couple of weeks, I think.
Oh, the bookies go, Top Sport. All right, now if we just have a quick look at Brownlow and Coleman. Are you still on your man, or do you see any other movement?
Yeah, quite weak. Obviously, there's only 6 matches, so a few missed out with a bye and stuff like that. So as you can see, not too much has changed. The only one probably is Brayshaw. He was the only one on that front page that's probably piled, and maybe Miller as well. But yeah, Brayshaw looks like he was at the top end of the market for votes this week. So yeah, nothing's really changed. So yeah, I'm still keen at this stage on Neil and Oliver. But yeah, Brayshaw with Freo's success going well.
Okay, and quick look at the Coleman. So you still got your big guns at the top here, yeah.
Yeah, so Cameron's into 230. He obviously had 6 on the weekend, so he's actually taken the lead by 1 over Curnow, who had the bye. So Curnow hasn't changed too much, and then there's just some changing and shuffling between. But yeah, as you can see now, it's starting to get really skinny at the top, and a bit of a 2-horse race with, I think they've got 5 lead on the rest of the field. So yeah, interesting betting there.
All right. Yeah, thanks, MJ. If you are serious about your AFL punting, you do need AFL Stings. You can get that from $22 a week in the Little Birdie Live TV shop. AFL Stings, $22 a week. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with Nick, Toprope, Tedeschi, and we'll have a quick chat about Origin on Wednesday. Welcome back to First Look, proudly brought to you by topsport.com.au. Family owned and operated for over 35 years. Bet with a bookie you can trust. Bet with TopSport. Okay, we are going to have a quick look at the round 13 results in the NRL. Short round, obviously. North Queensland beat the Gold Coast 32-6. Penrith beat the Bulldogs 30-18. Manly took care of the Warriors 44-12. And Canberra beat the Chooks yesterday 22-16. Toprope, your thoughts on the week?
Miserable weekend. Miserable. 4 games, not much doing, no Origin players. Yeah, look, you kind of know coming into these rounds that there's not much doing. The round really did not disappoint. Cowboys smashed the Titans, pressure building on Justin Holbrook up there at the Gold Coast. They lost 32-6 home after leading 6-0 against a Cowboys side missing 4 of their guns. Penrith beat the Bulldogs 30-18. Those on the plus 10.5, a little flat. Penrith kicked a penalty goal with about 5 minutes to go after a moronic penalty from the Bulldogs. You don't see many interim coaches getting sacked, but Mick Potter might be on the chopping block soon. He's some of his decision making leaves a bit to be desired. But anyway, Manly way too good for the Warriors. Pressure really built on Nathan Brown. He's being told by the owners he'll see out the rest of the year, but he's unlikely to get an extension beyond that. So yeah, the Warriors just they were 44-12 flattered them. That's how bad they were on Saturday night. So they didn't shop at all. And the game of the week, Raiders and Roosters. Raiders really dug deep. Strong goal on defence. One without Jack White or Josh Papali'i, 22-16 over a Roosters side that really looked out of sorts yesterday. I'm missing James Tedeschi and Daniel Tupou and Lindsay Collins, but Luke Keary has regressed to become a very, very, very ordinary player. So
I thought we would talk about him today because I think it really just showed how he's just not coping at all, Keary, at all.
Yeah, the Keary Walker partnership is just not working at all. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with that. They're pretty invested in Walker as a kind of long-term proposition there. So, there's been talk Keary might be shuffled on. I'm not sure what will happen there, but the combination is just not working. Yeah, and it should have been much better because Joe Manu was actually outstanding at fullback yesterday. He was ridiculously good. So, just looked very out of sync yesterday, which is unlike the Roosters.
Yes, it's a week to forget for the Chooks. All right. Now, if we'll just have a look at the round 13 results. So we got 3 out of 4 faves, 3 out of 4 covers, 2 out of 4 over totals, and 3 out of 4 home teams. And for the season, where faves were sitting at 66%, covers at 51%, over totals 52%, and the home teams at 61%. Can you take anything out of that weekend, or as you say, it's just a bye weekend without Origin players and just move on?
Just move on and look towards Origin. It's a total forget round, and these rounds always are. It's kind of good that they've kind of pushed these into 2 pretty clear rounds where the players aren't there, and these are just complete forget rounds. Okay,
and if we just look at the GGO8 bets for the week, what do we have? So we had 1 loss and 1 win, and as you say, that was a pretty bad beat yesterday for Manly.
Yeah, that was they kind of was the title ran close in the end. It looked like it was going to sail over early, and then there was a real kind of stodgy period after the second half, but a lot of points late in the game. So that one sailed over the total. The Bulldogs-Panthers never really looked like going under the total. The Panthers were just having their way with the Bulldogs, to be honest. And yeah, it was a real embarrassment for the Bulldogs. Penrith were missing six of their best players, and Canterbury essentially lost to a New South Wales Cup to them. So a very poor effort there.
Okay, Neil, as you say, we're going to go straight to Origin Wednesday night. Don't hate me because I'm going to be there. So Wednesday night, 8:10 p.m. at Accor Stadium. The Blues are $1.58, Queensland $2.42. I cannot believe those prices. The line is a flat 4 and the over-under's 36.5. Top rope. Tell me how you see it.
Yeah, I'm going to be with Queensland at the +4 and the $2.42. I think they're kind of crazy prices. I looking at the team selections, I think Billy Slater has New South Wales spooked. Yeah, there was not a lot of fear with Paul Green coaching the Queensland side. There was an obvious talent disparity there. Freddie did what Freddie does, and obviously had like Tom Trbojevic and Latrell Mitchell at his disposal. But yeah, where New South Wales kind of get a bit spooked by Queensland is when they kind of have a real uniting figure at running the show, and someone who can kind of extract more out of the sum of the part, more out of the whole than the sum of the parts. So Slater is absolutely that kind of figure. And all of a sudden Daniel Tupou has been brought in for Josh Adokar. We're seeing Jake Trbojevic being dropped after he's certainly playing better this year than he was last year. So you kind of go across the field. There aren't too many areas New South Wales have a clear advantage at. So I'm pretty confident that +4 first opening games are historically usually very, very close. And I'd be more than happy to take the +4. I think the $2.42 is a red hot go.
Yeah, I think the $2.42 is a good price. And obviously New South Wales are just favourites because the game's in Sydney. Do you think the New South Wales centres will dominate? Like, do you think that's where, if they're going to win it, they're going to win it out of the centre? And we had a bit of a chat with some friends over the week, and they just think that's where they'll dominate. But you don't think so at all? No,
I think that's a real area of weakness. There's talk today that Stephen Crichton will actually come and start, and Jack White will start off the bench. But Katoni Staggs has certainly kind of improved as the year's gone on, but he is a defensive concern, and Crichton will be switching sides most likely if he goes over to the left. So he has played on the left before, but he has been playing on the right most of the year. So it's a fair bit of concern. I think the 3/4 is a real area of weakness for New South Wales, and I think we will see. The Brisbane 3/4, and the centres. I know Holmes hasn't played centre Origin level before. He's been truly a very good Origin player. He's had a nice year for the Cowboys, and Dane Gagai has just always been one of the better players for Queensland. So I think that Queensland hold a big advantage. And I think if New South Wales are going to win, it's really going to come down to James Tedeschi and Nathan Cleary's kicking game. That's where the Blues can really get on top of Queensland.
And we're going to have a quick look at the premiership market here. Penrith $2.50, the Storm at $3.60, Parramatta $10, Roosters $12, North Queensland $15, Broncos $16, Cronulla $16, South Sydney $34, and Canberra $41. Is it just Penrith so far and above Melbourne?
No, I don't think Penrith's so far above. Penrith had a very good run with injuries this year. Melbourne, of course, missing a couple of key players. I reckon there's a struck match between them. I've been on this wagon all year, so it's going to be a little late for me to get off it, but I think Melbourne are certainly value at the $3.60. If they enter the finals with Ryan Pappenhausen, Harry Grant fully healthy, the Jerome Hughes back, there's going to be nothing. If the grand final was tomorrow, both teams fully fit, it's $1.90 take your pick. So I think the value there is with Melbourne.
Cheer home the Melbourne boys. All right, punters, if you are serious about your NRL punting, you do need GGOA, and you can get that from $22 a week in the Little Birdie TV shop. GGOA, $22 a week. Okay, MG, back to you.
Okay, charity time here, Nikki, and you're excited this week. You've held up the fort with your victory, so we'll put up Week 13's results. As you can see, Toprope and I have missed, so the Lions +6.5, hang my hat on all through there and missed. You got the Hawks up. You were there cheering home, +13.5. So you got that result in a close match. They lost the game, but only by 4 points. And Toprope missed with the Titans +6.5. So for Week 14, Nikki, we'll kick off with you for Sids and Kids. You are now at 5 and 8 for the year and moved up to second spot above Toprope. He's not happy camper at the moment. So what are you tipping this week, AFL or NRL?
AFL, and I'm going against the Bombers. Which is not hard. Carlton -22.5.
Okay, it sounds like a pretty good formula going against your side in the AFL. -22.5 for Nikki on Carlton and Toprope. What do we got in the NRL this week?
I'm going to go with the Raiders plus 6.5 at the Broncos.
Okay, Raiders plus 6.5 for Toprope. And myself, I'm going to, in the AFL, going to kick off with the first match. Port Adelaide plus 18.5 at the line there. So they are our early Monday predictions for our charities.
Thanks, MG and Toprope. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of First Look. Follow us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to download our podcast everywhere you get your good podcasts from. Follow us at Little Birdie TV, Twitter and Insta. I'll be sure to post a few things from Origin. Remember, all your footy betting action is at topsport.com.au. We'll be here next Monday. Don't forget to join OB with the boys on Friday. Have a great week. Thank you.